Welcome everyone, Daniel Cohen here, coming to you live, Real Life Network in Israel. I'm just outside of Tel Aviv where Iran launched a massive barrage, a massive missile attack, over 150, I understand, missiles on the city of Tel Aviv, on civilians in Tel Aviv. Israel has been not just striking Iran for the last, well, it hasn't been 24 hours yet, but Israel has pretty much been moving with very little to no resistance from Iran on IRGC commanders. I'm looking right now, dozens of the top-ranking, top-deck IRGC commanders have been taken out. But let's get to the breaking news first of all. The breaking news is there were 150 plus two separate barrages. I just came out of our mamad, our bomb shelter. And we were hearing explosions. We were hearing explosions overhead. We were hearing, haven't heard that in a while. We have not heard that in a while. Typically, Houthis have been sending a ballistic missile. It's intercepted, doesn't make it over Israeli airspace. Clearly, in the last hour, Israel's defenses, the Iron Dome, Arrow 3, David Sling, were overwhelmed. Some missiles actually got through, and I want to show you the video. And if I can, I'll even just talk over it. Guys, go ahead and roll the first video. This is the city of Tel Aviv. This is downtown Tel Aviv. This is the night sky here, and you can just see looking like war games. I mean, war games. Imagine standing on your balcony, standing on your patio, standing outside. And this is what you see. This is what you're witnessing. Let me tell you off the bat, as you're seeing and as you're watching, we have two. You guys can roll both of the videos, actually. Roll it back to back if that's okay. 7 injured, 1 moderately. And I'm seeing reports that there were Palestinians. Remember, 20% of the population in Israel is Arab, Muslim population. So I'm seeing three Palestinians that may have been injured as well. 7 injured, 1 moderately. This is what could be the beginning of a very long night in Tel Aviv, in the surrounding areas. Families here have been staying close. There were multiple alerts just on my phone. I took a screenshot. Where's my screenshot here? There were multiple alerts coming in from Home Front Command saying, don't go, get in your bomb shelter. And this is what families across Israel have been expecting. There isn't great fear. There isn't great, I wouldn't describe as a panic all day, but a pit in the stomach, yes. Watching how Israel has just been not just hitting Iran, but humiliating Iran, humiliating them, hitting their airport, taking out their ballistic missile sites, taking out Natanz, Fordow, hitting these deep underground nuclear facilities. Israel's strength, Israel's resolve has been, this is a historic day, historic moment. Don't be lost. Don't let that be lost on you. Even with the Iranian retaliation, which, by the way, Israelis have just been told that they can leave shelters. But we had back-to-back missile strikes in Tel Aviv. I know that there were 3 sirens in Jerusalem, in the heart of Israel, which is what this is all about. Don't kid yourself. This is what it's all about. It's a spiritual war going on that started the millennia ago, not October 7th, long time ago. Biblical. It's biblical. The IDF estimates that Iran fired 150 missiles in those 2 barrages. Israel Katz, defense minister, said that the Ayatollah, that the regime in Iran crossed red lines. I'm just reading here, crossed red lines with barrages at civilian centers, high-rise buildings, apartment buildings, and will pay a heavy price. Prime Minister Netanyahu said the same thing. He said, attack civilians, that will be a red line. President Trump has been speaking all day. He's been applauding and lauding Israel, called the strike that Israel has been carried out to this point excellent. Said Tehran can still make a deal. Shared a message on truth. Oh, we don't have it. Can I pull it up? Hold on, let me pull it up for you. I'm just going to read it to you guys. Look, it doesn't have to be slick or pretty. I just want you to see. President Trump, he shared this earlier. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but he says, I gave Iran chance after chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words, just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, that the United States made the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world by far. It goes on to say that some of the people that have been involved in the negotiations, it says they're all dead. They've been eliminated one by one by one. They're all dead. So the deal, the art of the deal maker in chief, strongly encouraging senior Islamic Republic leaders who are still alive to come back to the bargaining table, to come back and make a deal. If you're alive, if you happen to have air in your lungs, it would be good for you. It would behoove you to come back to the bargaining table. He says, do it before it's too late. God bless you all. And we've been hearing stories. We've been seeing videos. We've been hearing about how the Mossad, you guys can put up the pictures from downtown Tel Aviv if you want to know. There's some other photos and some other elements. The Mossad, masterful. Israel has been preparing and planning 20 years for this day, for this moment. The strike on Hassan Nasrallah, the beeper attack, which was incredibly, carefully, perfectly orchestrated, carried out. That took 10 years for Israel to plan. This moment, the historic moment I'm telling you about right now, took 20 years of planning. The Mossad, they built a facility inside Iran. They were on Iranian soil launching where they had drones, where they were taking out surface-to-surface missiles. This was orchestrated and coordinated, and when we learn and see all of the details about how this was done by Israel, wow, wow. The breaking news, though, in case you're just joining us, Daniel Cohen, Real Life Network. Glad you're here with us. Want to update you again. I'm live in Israel. I'm just outside of Tel Aviv, where there has been a massive barrage of over 150 ballistic missiles from Iran, 100 suicide, weaponized, I should say, drones. All of them were intercepted earlier in the day by Israel. 7 injuries, in case you're just joining us. 1 moderately. We'll have to see how the rest of the evening goes. It's Shabbat. It's Friday. It's, as I'm speaking to you right now, 10:39 p.m. in Israel. I don't know how many people are asleep. Most people in Israel are awake, most in bomb shelters, most hunkering down, and most just sticking by their phones, watching news, trying to get information. Information is king. Seeing that the United States is shifting resources to help the Middle East, to help Israel. Okay, I'm just going to check some sources really quickly. Yep. Bear with me one moment. IDF hit Isfahan nuclear site, 200 targets across Iran. It's been wave after wave after wave that Iran has been unable to defend. We'll have to see how their response, how Israel, how Prime Minister Netanyahu, and how his cabinet and how the leadership here will now respond to the response. But I want to make one thing clear before we sign off, before I let you go. A lot of people have been saying that Israel carried out a preemptive strike. That is wrong. Israel did not carry out a preemptive strike. Israel struck back. Daniel, what do you mean? No one expected that strike yesterday. It was a preemptive strike. You're partially right. It was a preemptive strike to stop Iran from going from its nuclear breakout. Israeli intelligence showed they have enough enriched uranium for 15 atomic bombs, 15 nuclear weapons. Israel, since the Islamic Revolution 46 years ago, has declared a war on Israel. Israel has never attacked Iran. Until now, Israel has never attacked an Arab neighbor, the modern state of Israel. It's only ever responded. Israel, the number one state sponsor of terror, Hamas, which orchestrated the worst terror massacre, the October 7th attack on Israeli soil since the Holocaust. The Houthis, which have been attacking Israel daily with ballistic missiles, daily. Hezbollah. Iran is the puppet master pulling the strings. We all know that. No doubt about that. This has not been a preemptive strike. This is Israel doing what it must do, taking out Hamas, free Gaza from Hamas. Now is a moment for the people of Iran. Now is the moment to free Iran, free the Islamic Republic from the Ayatollahs. The United States, people here in Israel have been encouraging an uprising. Now is your moment. What does that look like? I don't have the answer to that right now, but this is a historic moment. The coordination, the way President Trump publicly said, don't do anything while we're still negotiating with Iran. There were so many signals that were sent to the IRGC, to the Islamic Republic, to the Ayatollahs and the mullahs and their leaders. There were multiple. Just call it a smoke screen. It was all coordinated. President Trump came out today. President Trump said that the United States knew. The United States knew what Israel was about to do. Let's be very clear. Secretary of State Rubio said Israel acted on its own. It wasn't the United States military assets that were used in any of the strikes that we saw in Iran. But the United States definitely knew. I was thinking about the beeper attack and Hassan Nasrallah, how coordinated that was. And this was coordinated once again. Pray. This is the moment right now to pray. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Pray. Pray that God's mighty hand of protection would protect this covenant nation of his. And I pray that there's a proverb that says, where we were praying this morning, God gives rest to those he loves. It's 127, Psalm 1. Let me look it up. God gives rest to those he loves. Now is not a time for rest. Now is definitely a time where our IDF, thousands of military reservists, including one who works with this network, have just been called up to fight, called to the reserves. Now is the time to fight, but now is a historic moment where Israel has an opportunity. The people of Iran have an opportunity. Be praying. God's plans can't be stopped, not by Iran, not by any ballistic missile, not by any saber rattling, not by any threat. A lot of neighbors, people have been saying, Daniel, I'm nervous. I'm a little scared. I'm a little afraid. I get that. We all have that pit in our stomach here in Israel. It's a frightening moment when ballistic missiles are incoming and your children are asleep in bed, in their beds. That's a frightening moment as a parent, as a human. It's a frightening thing. But I rest in, and I have a peace that Israel will be okay because the word, the Bible, God says so. He says he'll never sleep or slumber. He says he will never abandon. Jeremiah says, as long as the sun, the moon, the stars, if those things would cease to exist, that's when Israel will cease to be a nation. So for all the threats that are coming out of Iran right now, the Ayatollahs, and what military command is left, I put my faith and my hope and my trust, and I hope you do too, in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He can't break a promise. He makes a promise. I'm going to read a couple of more headlines, everybody, and then we'll sign off. And if there's another military strike, or if there's more ballistic missiles fired or lobbed into Israel, we'll jump back on here in the Real Life Network. So keep it here. But the Prime Minister right now is underground, central Tel Aviv. The video that you just saw earlier. The video you saw, don't worry about that. In Tel Aviv, there's military central command, and bunkered underground there That's where the prime minister is right now, and they're meeting to discuss the response to the Iranian missile barrage. I'm also hearing and seeing that 2 people were rescued after being trapped in a building in Tel Aviv. Again, the IDF is saying that civilians can leave bomb shelters in Israel, but definitely remain nearby. All families are staying together. People, if you're watching now, if you have friends, if you have family, if you have loved ones in Israel, it's okay. Give them a call. Just check on them. If they don't answer or they don't want to talk, respect that. Okay, and I'm just seeing now that the injury count from the Iranian missile barrage is now 22. 2 people have been seriously wounded. 2 people have been seriously wounded. Let me just see if I can get a little bit more information on that. That's according to Magen David Adom. That's the emergency services. 2 people in serious condition, 2 in moderate condition. The rest lightly hurt and some suffering acute anxiety. Okay, so we had 2 ballistic missile, it was a barrage. It was a wave. There were 2 different attacks in the last hour. 22 people injured. 2 people, it sounds like, seriously. 2 people that were trapped in a building in Tel Aviv. It's going to be a long night. So again, I just encourage you to pray. Pray right now. Pray for Israel. And pray for your friends. Pray for your family and loved ones. Even if they don't live in Israel, your Jewish friends, I promise you, your Jewish neighbors, people you work with, people you go to school with, people that you are in doing life with. This is your moment. If you're a Christian, if you're evangelical, step up. This is your moment to show how the church loves. Show the radical love of Jesus, of Yeshua. You can do that right now in this moment. This is when people are looking. Their hearts are open. They're saying they need hope. And you can provide that hope. You can provide that hope. Do it. Take this opportunity. Don't make it weird. You don't have to clobber them in the head with the Bible. Just call and just say, I'm thinking of you. I love you. How are you? How's your family? Can I do anything for you? Can I cook you a meal? Little thing will go a long way. Do it. All right, everybody. Daniel Cohen from the Real Life Network signing off for now, but keep it here. Just keep your phone on, keep it close, and we may be back. It's going to be a long night here in Israel, for sure. As the Prime Minister, they're weighing the response to the Iranian missile strike. Going to sign off for now. Thanks for watching here at Real Life Network. So long.